I'm a weird woman.
I knew it.
Hello, and welcome to the Legendarium Green Team. I'm Jingalls90, and with me today are Little Red Book,
Hello.
Cesky,
Hey, everybody.
and Texas Blade.
Hey, y'all.
Today, we are discussing Book 10 of the Alex Verus series, Fallen, by Benedict Jacka. And this is going to be a dark but fun talk, I think, folks.
The book got
Oh.
real.
My goodness, yeah, did it
Yep.
get real?
Yep.
You know, Alex has done a really good job up to this point of being a very restrained individual. And he has fallen a couple of times. He has stumbled and maybe cannot always be that refrained. But that's just out the bag now. That's just done. We're done being the Mr. Nice Guy with Alex Verus. So let's do what we normally do. Let's get some spoiler-free impressions, and then we will move into the meatier topics of the book.
I'm just going to say that it's really hard to talk about thoughts without spoilers in this book
Yeah,
because all the thoughts are spoiler thoughts.
pretty much. Yeah. I feel
There
the
are a
same.
lot of
feel like
spoiler thoughts, but I'll say I think this is one where we're well past the point where pieces are getting set up, and now all the pieces are falling into place.
Some of them are just getting taken out completely.
Some of them are just being thrown away. Those pieces are no longer required for the game.
And some old ones that we thought were gone have come back too.
I would say, I don't know if I want to say that. I don't think it counts as spoiler, but I think this book has a tone shift similar to a tone shift in the Dresden Files.
Mm.
And I think that's kind of all you need to say to kind of get that point across a little bit if you've read both series.
Yeah.
But again, on a reread, I really liked
But
it.
better.
I definitely think it's a little better done in this one. And I don't know, that one scene, though, is pretty epic for those of us who like it. So, no, I thought it was still really good. I felt, even rereading it this time, that the choices make sense. I've got a lot of questions for us to kind of talk about as we go through. I felt like this one raises a lot of questions and answers a lot of questions. So,
yeah, I think I'll just add to that by saying, like, there was a bit of me that was a little bit sad in this book, and not necessarily in a bad way, but just the fun-lovingness of everything that's been happening in this series so far just kind of seemed like it was gone. And very intentionally so, right? Like, we very much have hit the darker period of Alex Verus's life, as he's just kind of, everything is finally caught up to him in a way that he just can't ignore it or talk his way out of it anymore. And so, like, yeah, there's just a little bit of solemnness maybe to the end of this book. But that being said, I'm very excited because we are so very clearly aiming at an end here. Like, I can see exactly where these last two books are probably going to take us, because we are very clearly wrapping things up. So, yeah, I'll just put that out there. I think it's a great entry to the end.
So one of the things I would like to say about this series is I 100% agree with you, although we do have a character that comes back and brings a little more levity.
A little more
into the
joy,
situation. But this series, the books are short and it has an end. And I really think you need to consider trying it just because of those two things.
Yes, Craig.
I'm sorry, but I got
No.
burned bad by a certain author with his latest release in November.
Let's not get into other authors here. We're here to talk about
I'm
Benedict
just
Jacka
saying,
and the
there's a
Alex
certain
Verus
author that
series.
I got burned bad by, and
Well, it's fine.
there's
Well,
another
we're not
author
here to
that I
talk
got.
about this author.
Yes,
We're here to
okay.
talk about a
But
good
and
book
my point
series
is,
that's
the books
done.
are short. The books are short. I had a podcast called Wordless. The books are short. They're short, and there's an end in sight. And then that's a thing in fantasy literature
Yeah.
today.
And I think Jacka has very very properly developed the anticipation of the end
Mhm.
in this book.
100%.
I yeah, I if you've been listening to these spoiler-free episodes or parts of the episode this entire time, um, I'll say as the first time reader, I think the payoff is really making itself evident right now.
Are you feeling paid off for certain things?
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Um, like I think I have one really small, tiny uh thing that I'm confused about that we can talk about later, but otherwise it's like, yeah, this all feels right. Like this has been what we have been coming to at this point.
So
So
looking back, you feel that way. Looking forward, could you have imagined kind of where we're at now, or were you imagining something different when we were getting to the end game?
mm, sorry, just like from my
Like when you
um
started reading, maybe after book one, and you kind of had a feel for what the story was kind of starting to be.
oh
Did
sure.
you imagine or picture it coming here, or did it go in a way too different direction, or just guess kind of how were your expectations matching with what's actually
Yeah.
happening?
Okay, so I think there's some like actual impossibility to that, right? Like being able to predict where we were, right? Because we actually
Of
don't have
course.
characters. We actually don't have characters that need to be here to set in motion in the first two books. But I think if we look at like kind of the overarching things, like what are the two biggest problems for Alex Verus being a council that is just kind of a pain in his butt and an old master or leader who has disappeared but is always looming over him. Like those two things generally have culminated in the way that I anticipated. Or at least I would like to think I anticipated, maybe not as perfectly as it is showing itself. But like, yes, I did not expect either of these two things to ever end positively for him. And they don't seem to be. So,
Well,
um,
I mean, when we get into the spoilers, there's a lot of changing of positions going on. You never know
yes,
what could
there
happen.
is. You never know. Um, so yeah, why don't we do that? So, little synopsis. Things haven't settled down much for Alex and Anne in the years since San Vitor was raided. The council is still investigating the event, and despite his efforts, Alex can't quite get everyone off his tail. Caldera specifically. She knows a BS story when she hears one, and her investigations have led her having the council put an arrest warrant out on Alex and Anne. Her first raid attempt is successful, resulting in Arachne leaving her cave with the dragon, and Anne and Alex being first captured by the council, then captured again by Richard. Richard gives Alex one final opportunity to join his side to control Anne and her djinn, but Alex refuses because he doesn't betray his friends. Given this response, Richard has Crystal mind control Alex and then brutally beat Anne until she is forced to release the djinn. Starbreeze saves Alex from death by Rachel, and he begins his pursuit for the Fate Weaver. In a heist that sees him joining forces with Luna, Very, and Kyle, Alex successfully retrieves the Fate Weaver by bonding it to a dead arm that Anne gave him earlier. In a tremendous showing of power, Alex uses the Fate Weaver to brutally kill Onyx, Pyre, and their entire gang. In the process, he also frees Celine, and that makes him and Kyle even for the events in Chosen. Finally, in a raid of Sal Sark's fortress, Alex forces Meredith to join him on a mission to force Rachel to switch sides. The result is successful, and Sal Sark, Solus, and Crystal are killed. Rachel runs, no longer in Richard's favor, and Alex bails, calling him and Meredith even as well. In an abandoned cave, Dark Anne puts on an armor dress Arachne made for her, and she and Alex agree that they will see each other again, though perhaps not in the way either of them would prefer.
Yeah, it's a book. It's a
Yeah.
book.
It
Oh my
is,
There's
yeah.
gosh.
so much that happens in here.
So yeah, and I'd like even as I was writing that, I'm not even including some of like the littler stuff that still like moves all of this forward. Like it's just such a busy book. Um,
But it's so well handled. Like,
yeah.
There's so much. Well, I
there's so
mean,
much, but you
I
never
don't
are,
even know
like,
where to start.
lost.
Here's something we could start off on. I liked the dragon prophecy that Shireen had. That Shireen's been trying to get him to redeem Rachel, and he's like, you know what? I can't redeem Rachel. You can't redeem somebody against their will. And he
Mhm.
looks at the prophecy and he says, I see. It doesn't say that she has to, she has to turn against Richard. That doesn't mean redeem or betray. It just means she has to take an action, and he's able to, force that. And I like that's how he uses it to manipulate everybody to break that dreamstone.
Yeah. And even in some capacity, even if it doesn't sound super positive, like he does let Cinder in on this and lets Cinder know that this is going to happen so that he's there for Rachel, because Rachel and Cinder have also had a falling out in this time span.
Yeah.
So he's still he's not trying to leave Rachel totally in the dust, even if he maybe is using her power against her. It's a really weird dynamic. Every single dynamic that Alex has after he gets the Fate Weaver is tinged with some inhumanity, maybe like a little uncertainty as to whether it's okay he's doing what he's doing.
He's like, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Like, I am gonna change his attitude. He's like, I'm not gonna play nice anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's just
basically,
like
I'm gonna be a dark mage. I mean,
all the
basically,
punches I
what he's doing.
pulled, I'm not pulling them no more.
Well, the freaking council convicts him.
I mean, I think I'm okay with him not pulling these punches, because all the punches that he would have pulled, all the people he's punching they otherwise wouldn't have are the people who would not let him pull, or would not pull punches on him. That could have been said a whole lot better. But it's like, all the dark mages. I just went through that part, so it's like, they're like, oh no, I'm done. Boom. So yes, you're done. Because that's exactly how they treat everyone that they go against. Anyone that says, "Oh, I'm done with you," don't leave me alone. They're like, "Ha ha ha! No, I have the power." He doesn't laugh at them. He just is like, "No, you're done. This is how you treat others. You're getting it too. It's pure justice."
Yeah, goes back to the when I break the rules, it's okay, but when you break the rules, it's a heinous crime and needs to be punished immediately.
Well, the council, he's the only person on the council saying, no, look, this is serious. And what do? They put a death warrant out on him.
I don't think he's the
Because-
only one who is the only one on the council for himself. There are others with him. There's a lot against him.
Yeah. I mean, I think when we look at the council, it's really Levistus and Sal Sark that are the huge problems, right? I mean, Bahamas and Druce and what's the other person's name? I can't remember. But they usually side with Alex. Like they're not maybe the best at taking action. I don't think that's entirely true of Druce. I believe he has, but they see his value. And it's really only after the evidence is presented to them, which does actually show him and Anne, even if it wasn't intentional, actually helping Morden. It's only then that they do this full turn. So I don't know.
It's somewhat understandable that they're doing that, but
Yeah.
at the same time, they're not. It's like the only reason Anne's in that position is because of all the junk. She never wanted to be in that position, but she got boxed into corners, and
yeah, it does truly all start with the council, making bad decisions and trying to enforce things the wrong way. So
and not taking care of the adepts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Oh yeah,
and considering dark mage apprentices, dark mages, no matter what. I mean, that's why Alex is always being in trouble, because they're like, oh, he was a dark mage. He's always a dark mage. And they treat him like a dark mage, and he doesn't want to be a dark mage. Same with Anne. They're both in the same position where they don't want to be dark mages, but because they were under a dark mage at one point, they're always dark mages in the White Council, or Light Council. And so they treat him like that, and then as soon as it's like, okay, I have no choice but to act like a dark one because you're backed me into this corner. It's like, I'm not willing to die just so you guys can feel like you've done the right thing or whatever.
So I know I brought this up, but I've been harping on the same thing with the council every single episode, I'm pretty sure. So let's talk about Starbreeze. How glad are we that she is back?
I'm glad she's back. I don't quite understand why she's back. She did just kind of show up, or did I miss something?
He calls with Dreamstone.
Oh,
so he sends out a primal call for help, and she responds.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I totally missed that. I was like, why the heck is Starbreeze here? I'm excited. I'm very excited, but why?
You see, Jingles, it's Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
A little
I
bit,
see
yeah,
that
a little
now.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he does call for help, and then she just responds. So it was
Okay.
She just hears a familiar voice, and
Follows
she's like,
through on it.
yeah. And then she gets bored and leaves them in Scotland in the middle of the Highlands, like,
Yeah, oh, man, I did love her. This is our plan B with Kyle. It's like, how do you guys survive these things?
He's like, have I been grossly overestimating how powerful you guys are?
Sorry.
No. But since you brought up Kyle, okay, after he gets the Fate Weaver, was that not like one of the best fight scenes in the book
Oh,
series you've read so far?
so good.
It was
That's what.
amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I absolutely love. Okay, so here's a thing about me. I'm sure it's not totally uncommon amongst people, but I love movies where killers are just highly efficient. Like they just do everything perfectly. Like if you ever
so like
watch
John Wick.
like John Wick or like Ben Affleck's The Accountant
Oh,
movies
The Accountant was
Mhm.
good. Yeah.
or oh, what's the newest movie that David Fincher did with Michael Fassbender? Um
I was thinking about Denzel Washington's
Yep.
movies,
The Man on Fire and all
no,
that.
Man on Fire, but also the one where he's the guy who works at Home Depot.
I don't remember that
Is
one.
it The Killer?
Yes, The
No.
Killer. That's the Michael Fassbender one.
Oh, I was gonna say that's not the Denzel Washington one.
No, no. Yeah, it was refreshing to see him let loose and to see him actually like explore all the abilities of his new hand. Very epic.
And watching like just everything, yeah, everything play out exactly as he pushed it to do, which was really cool. And then Onyx actually dying because of his own hubris.
Dumbness.
Yeah, his own idiocy. I love that the only thing Alex says to him throughout that entire thing is Morden left you because you're stupid, as he's like driving a sword into this guy's stomach. Yeah, it was the start of the satisfaction maybe that I've had with waiting for these people to have their final showdowns. Um,
The funny thing about Onyx is that he truly is so unself-aware. Like he has no idea how dumb he is and how because Mordant tried to bring him along. He's like, I'm trying to like help this guy out. And he just like he's like that rake.
Apparently, he was promising at the start, but the power went to his head. And
Well, it's like the rake stepping scene in The Simpsons. It's like every time he turns around, he steps on a freaking rake.
well, and I love that like his full plan, like ever since book 1, Onyx has been just driven by this hatred for Alex, and it is his ultimate end because he chose for some reason he thought he was going to be capable of taking on Alex after Alex got the Fate Weaver again, which was the first time Alex beat him, which is just absurd. But this whole like alpha male domination thing that Onyx has been driven by this entire time just didn't mean anything when someone with actual resources and thought was able to take him out.
Also, the fact that he's gotten flabby is
Yep.
pretty actually hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's an incredibly powerful ability to see the future and then be able to choose the future. Because
You're right.
choosing the future without knowing what's even close to being possible is going to make the Fate Weaver a lot weaker, right? If you don't know what's possible or what's likely, then it's tougher to use. But he's got the perfect combo there.
so what do we think about the scene with him facing off with Aliaxis?
Oh,
Abithriax. The audiobook goes Abithriax.
Abathriax.
Thereabouts.
It was a good scene. I like the fight. I
Yeah.
want the Fate Weaver. I don't want you.
Yeah, and I do love Jaka's positioning of this entire scene within the series, because a lot, again, just going referencing other media, but a lot of movies or books or whatever, they would put this scene near the end, right? Because Alex has his ultimate weapon and
It does
that's what
feel
he's
like the
going to use to
climax.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here it's his ultimate weapon. He's actually going to use it, and we can actually look at how it's going to mess him up, because we know imbued items being on you for too long is a problem. So being fused to your arm, probably also not a great idea.
What? Are you sure? Come on. It just
but
helps him
Not
control
gonna
the
go wrong at
future.
all.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
but we have two more books. We don't have this weird problem of, oh yeah, he's got to get his arm chopped off like at the end of this book. Like he's only going to use it for 100 pages or something.
Mhm.
Well,
So more time to build, which is good.
yes. It's like I want to say the next two books, like these three books are about a week and a half or so time wise.
Yeah, they are really crunched.
But what I like about, well, first of all, it's awesome because it's like this mental test that he's having. And he's got like so much experience with fending off mind magic. Plus, he's hauled him into uh
Elsewhere.
elsewhere. I was gonna say neverwhere, but that's a different story.
Hmm.
Um
Riyadh and Riyadh.
Yeah, but he hauls them into this other world, and, like, it's, like, literally who can stay standing longest, but it's not physical. And then you immediately move into this very physical confrontation with Onyx and his minions. And I also
Yep.
like this is not about action, but, I like how they're rescuing basically Kyle's girlfriend at the same time, and she's just, like, sitting in the corner, like, covered in blood, and Kyle's like anyway, there's just so much going on in this story. But seeing Kyle being so relatable, and he's like, "All I wanna do is save my girlfriend," and Alex is like, "I will save her. I can't save her right now, but I will save her." And Alex honoring his word,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing considering all the bullets flying around, to be honest.
I honestly thought during the fight like that was going to be our first like problem we see with the Fate Weaver is that he like was not paying attention to the right things and like her death was a result of that. I'm glad that's not what it ended up being. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Still constrained by choice. People have
Yeah.
to choose first and then he can act. But
Yeah.
how did you feel about the payoff where book 1, we get the Fate Weaver, book 2, we get the Djinn, and then book 3 kind of drops that for stuff for a little bit
Last
until
bit of
we get
Van.
back
Yeah.
to last book in this book? Like, do you feel like that as a writing thing? I mean, I thought that was really well done where it's like neither of them are out of nowhere. But
Right.
like the first time I read this and until he mentioned it, I wasn't like, what can Alex do? Oh yeah, he can go get, the weapon that will kill him if he uses it too long or possess him, And then he did. So, I mean, what was your thoughts as a first time reader here, Jingles?
So as a first timer, I'm very satisfied with the fact that all of the pieces have been in plain sight. I'm glad that there's nothing that I have not been able to at least look back on at this point. Sometimes it gets a little weird, especially when because Jacka, as the author, does have like kind of an obligation to make sure that we're understanding as the readers all of what's going on. And sometimes the
Mhm.
stuff is not that hard to understand. Like I understand that Richard's been there backing up Alex this entire time, right? Like I can see those places where he has interfered. Um, but I also equally like, that like a Jin shows up in the second book, and I have no idea why a Jin is there, right? But until they start explaining it a little bit more. Similarly, yeah, I like that those first three books really are like the introduction to all the key pieces to what are going to create probably the ultimate problem with Richard, and is that he has this super powerful weapon that he now can use. I also really like that the reveal that Richard is a diviner had to make sense once you understood what a Jin did. And I'm glad
Right.
that we got that progression with Alex to that point. So yeah, that
Did
was
that
good.
surprise you?
Not too much, I, but not like oh yeah, of course he's a diviner. I just like that makes sense. Like we just hadn't really seen him do anything else, right?
Divinery things.
Yeah. Um,
It
and
surprised me, by the way.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like yeah, maybe in another episode I even said he might be a diviner, but I can't remember at this point.
They really do start to run together, especially if you're reading them very quickly. Not
Yeah,
and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I mean
Yeah.
it's seamless. Like, I literally could not remember the end of this book. Like, did it end at this part or did it end at that part?
part. Well, this one's so much more open-ended than some of the other books in its ending. Because yeah, there's no actual. I guess the problem that's solved is that Rachel turned, but So we
Well,
have one
also
fulfillment of the
And
and
prophecy.
so
free.
no longer being controlled, at least.
Yeah.
Well, not
Well,
at
by
least not by
Richard.
Richard.
She's free, kind of.
Oh, and Richard's reaction to that,
Oh yeah, Richard's reaction the first time we see him lose his cool.
he was like, "You have no idea what you have done."
Good.
And, we get some characters that I really wanted their brains splashed all over walls.
Splashed over walls.
Splashed o It was pretty amazing. Zetadesh, whatever his name was.
Yeah, that was being back to that scene again. That was a pretty intense scene of the Fate Weaver, and the more he works on the bombs not going off, the faster it comes, and then it's like,
Yeah.
they're done, kill him,
Kill
and
him.
then they're
Get him
like,
out of here.
yeah, and then
So
it works, and it's just. Did you have something, Texas, you wanted to say?
No. I was just
Oh,
saying he's
yeah,
gone.
he's gone, he's done, and it's like, that's a senior council member that he just. Alex is definitely not playing around anymore. He's going for it.
And so we have the mental scene with the Weaver dude. We have the physical scene with the Onyx dude, and that scene is both the mental and physical combined.
hmm
hmm
Yeah, that's really cool.
So let's talk about Meredith.
Oh, Meredith. Okay, what do you want to talk about her?
First of all, I love that she is so freaked out by Alex because Alex he's never been scary to her really, but she's freaked out. And at the end of the scene where, okay, so for those keeping track, Meredith, he finds her in Argentina thanks to Starbreeze and brings her back to basically work some little charm magic on Rachel. And he drops her off and she's like, "I did what you said, right?" And he's like, "Yes, you did. What do you want from me? Just leave me alone." But he says, "Would you have betrayed me if I'd been acting like I am now?" And
hmm
she says, "No." And I thought that was kind of like whether you agree with Alex's shift or not, that confirms to him that he's made the choice he needs to make, which is he needed to be this heartless Machiavellian character.
I don't necessarily think he's heartless. He's just not willing to play low anymore. He's willing to go for it now that he has the power to back him up. I was going to bring it up. It's the same thing. It's as Alex is the nice guy. Was he too nice or insufficiently ruthless? Or, you know, like if he'd played hardball a little bit more and enforced his power, which is, I mean, but he wants to be the nice guy. He wants to be helpful. He wants to be friendly. He doesn't want to be like everybody else. But playing that game when everybody else is playing a different game just means you're going to get kicked down all the time.
Yeah.
What is that? It's like with the or dark wizards, it's physical power. With the White Council, it's political power, and he had neither of them, and he can't really get that political power. Or he tried, actually. He had the political power for a little bit, and he was trying to do good with it, and they were still turning it against him. So now he was forced to fall back to the physical power, and now he has that too. He didn't really even have that until he was forced back into the corner to go get it. And now they're going to reap the consequences.
Yeah, he even said the most dangerous thing is you made me your enemy. He's like, "Well, I always knew you were a dark mage." He's like, "No, you made me personally your enemy. You didn't have to have it be like that." The second Desh, whatever, however you say his name. Don't do
Who are
names,
you
guys.
thinking?
Salsaqui.
Yeah.
Salsaqui. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the yet to be seen. I gather the theme of whether Alex is too nice or not is going to continue to be an issue, especially as he develops more of a relationship with the Fate Weaver. But I like in this book in particular, he doesn't show any level of heartlessness or hate for anyone that he loves, right? Not yet, anyway. Every single person that he is ruthless with in this book are people who have, definitely deserved a little bit of ruthlessness in the way they've treated him,
They've been
in
ruthless
the way
with him
they've acted towards him,
or others.
And like we've got like all of our little threads pretty much got all tied up in this book. Like Crystal, who was a problem, is gone. Sal Sarkwi is the lesser of the two Light Council mages that needed to go. Meredith and Kyle even are kind of just wrapped up.
Yep.
Kyle in a
Onyx.
bit of a different way. Onyx is gone.
Yeah.
That was
So
sad. I
Caldeira's
was very
still
sad when
being
he
a
died.
jerk.
yeah.
This is definitely the tipping point for me when she turns to the worst. You know, she's so focused on Alex from the last book and this book where she's like, no, I'm gonna prove that you did something wrong. I have to because, you know, just her. And she just won't let
Yeah.
it go. And you could almost trace a lot of this book happening and the bad things happening to her.
Mhm.
You know, in a slightly unfair way. Yes, Alex did lie, but he's lying to protect, but she only sees it as, oh, you just can't trust the council. And he's like, no, I can't. They
Right.
have broken their promise every time they make a promise. They physically can't make it without breaking it. And she's like, no, they're good. They're perfect. It's okay. Just listen. They're not gonna.
I think for me, like a lot of what tips me against Carl Dara at this point in this book, it's just because she's so freaking spiteful. Like, if she wasn't actively trying to harm Alex and she just like happened to find out the truth about what that day was, I think I'd have a lot more like acceptance of the fact that she's chasing him down. Because I think that's a fair assessment of that entire situation if you're looking at it from that perspective. But the fact that she's been like, "Oh no, I know you're a liar and I know you're doing something wrong, so I'm going to just hunt you down until you actually are caught." That's ridiculous. Especially cuz it was kind of a closed case, as like even Saunders had gone through and checked through it already on an official basis. So,
Well, I think that I wouldn't call it spitefulness. I would think that she feels like it's a point of honor because she feels like she elevated Alex into the Order of the Star. And I think she feels betrayed by the whole situation. And she felt like she's been off-footed. You know, she's been set on her heels.
Mm-hmm.
And she feels like she's trying to make an error that she had made right. Although it's very funny that she's like, "Oh, and Meredith, we're looking looking for you on questioning too."
I did laugh at that. It's like, "Hey, no, I want you for questioning too. Yeah. Get out."
I don't know. I mean, I feel sad because I really loved her in the first couple books that she's in. I really did.
Yeah. I still think she's a great character. I still kind of do see this as like the fugitive type situation where Caldera's still kind of just doing her job. It is, but it is very personal. Like I do think it's I don't know. I have a hard time not seeing a
Well,
personal choice here being made.
she brings it up. It's like, oh, there's no trucks here to hit. And when did she get hit by the truck? When she wanted to take him in, and he's like, "You take me in, and I'm dead." And she's like, "I don't care. I need to take you in." It's like, and she took that's the first personal thing she took. It's like he's just trying to survive, and you know she very well knows that he hasn't done anything, and she knows she's been in the council long enough. She should know how spiteful they can be and how this is going. And but then because he escaped, she takes that personally, and from then on, she is not gonna. She's trying to, you know, not gonna give him anything.
Yeah, I feel like it goes back to her inflexibility. The rules are the rules. This is what I do. What I told, and it kind of lays bare just the excuse that can be sometimes. You know, it's like I just do what I'm told. Well, you know that what you're told is going to get me killed, but you're choosing to have faith that it won't this time, even though I'm telling you what's going to happen, and you know what's going to happen in your heart. You just don't want to see it because you want to follow the rules. And I mean,
Right.
is that part of her being just an earth mage and they're, you know, stubborn and persistent and whatever? Like, yeah, a little bit probably, but still, that's yeah, like you said, great character. But I just by this point in the book, every time I see her, just like, you can die, it's okay, leave us, change your
Get a-
mind, do something better for us. Like,
maybe not die, but I do get a little bit of satisfaction out of, oh yeah, there's just a force mage with a really bad shot below you. So I just
Oh my god. I have so much I want to say that they're all spoilers. Oh.
for
yes,
the
are
rest of the
we?
series
Yeah.
or for the okay.
It's only
I was like, we're in
No, we don't
spoilers.
see Caldera ever
Spoil out.
again. You don't need to worry about her.
No,
She's
never.
gone. She's done with.
Gone.
No.
Never to be seen.
You know who we don't ever see again? Arachne.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm
I
with the
mean, I
a
kind of figured that
spoiler.
was true. I mean, I kind of figured that
Kind
was
of a
going to be the
spoiler,
case,
but no,
but
she makes it pretty damn clear she's not darn
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
that she's
Yeah.
she's
yeah,
out.
it's
She's outie.
And
Until the next cycle of meeting a human friend.
or something.
you know
Which
who we will see again is Hermes. We will see him again.
Yeah. Hermes
I
was
mean, we
fun
saw
this
him.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was here.
He was I liked the Hermes interactions because the first one was Alex talking. I I don't know if he's really done this. At least this is the first time I've registered it. Alex talks to a lot of things that can't talk back to him, like often.
Like the cube.
The cube
Hermes
and the Fate
can. It's
Weaver.
just
Yeah,
yes
Hermes
and
can
no. But
communicate, but at the same time, like,
yeah.
is Hermes really communicating, or is uh Alex doing what all of us animal lovers do, and we're just projecting personalities onto
Oh
these?
well, no. The Blink Flux is stated that they have human level intelligences,
Oh,
but they don't
sure.
have
But he's
human
not
vocal
he's not
cords.
saying anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they no human vocal cords, but they have the intelligence. He just has to do the blinking and then pantomiming.
yeah, he can answer yes, no's, right?
I'm sure he's very
Mhm.
frustrated about that. Oh, that's the story I want now. I want Verus's tail through Hermes' eyes.
That would be fun, I gotta say.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a short story, a Hermes short story.
An
But
Arachne short story would be good. Like,
Arachne short story would be great.
Starbreeze wouldn't probably be good. It would probably be way too weird to
That's
read.
perfect for the ADHD among us. I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we would probably get through the whole Alex Verus series really quick if it was Starbreeze. It's just because it's just we just
Well,
skipped
she
all
even
the high points and all the places where there's fire.
yeah, she even says, "Well, and you're gonna die soon." And he's like, "That kind of freaked me out a little bit, but soon could be 50 years because Starbreeze just doesn't really get time."
Yeah. So, um, but yeah, going back to their interactions, and then the next one was after he's had Fate Weaver, and we see Alex like seeing if he can pet a bird, which he successfully does, and Hermes like is very suspect of what is happening with that arm and just like walks away. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I want anything to do with this right now. I'm just, but,
He was like a maybe, I
yeah,
think is what Alex said. I think
yeah,
Hermes is a
Yeah.
maybe.
He
yeah.
looked back. He didn't just run off. He looked back. So
So good
Oh,
good
Hermes.
indicator of something odd going on there.
Well, I mean, he's got like this weird imbued item that's like literally part of his body now. That
Yeah,
would
that's true.
freak anybody else. Well, and the German doctor,
Carla,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Lorenz.
Carla, yeah, her reaction to the whole thing, her reaction to the whole situation. She's like, "I'm definitely not here."
yeah,
And Barry's master, whose name I
Landis,
can't remember, Landis,
Landis.
Landis, yeah.
and
How
he's
could you
like,
forget
"I'm also
Landis?
definitely not here."
Yeah, that's what our
That
rock,
whole
our savior, Landis demands of us.
yes.
Rock Savior.
You know what? I want more Landis.
So
Much
do
like
I. Landis is amazing.
Christopher much like Christopher Walken wanted more cowbell, I want more Landis. I hope everybody got that that's listening.
If not, SNL. Go
Yeah.
look it up.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Well, I don't think we've talked about one of the heavier scenes of the book. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys want to get into that one or not, because that's pretty.
Maybe before we get there, maybe we should just talk about Anne from start to finish in this book in general, and then maybe that makes it a little bit of a softer discussion. But
First off, her family sucks.
her family sucks. Yeah, her family's terrible. One of the weirder decisions Jack has made in this series has been the incorporation of these people's families, which I'm fine with on one level because it like shows where they started and what they're dealing with on a personal familial level.
Mhm.
But they also just don't seem to do much. Like the conversation with Alex and his dad still has not had any sort of payoff in my eyes. Like it's something that Arachne handled much better. Maybe that's the point. And then with Anne's, like we just have this weird situation. I guess because they were supposed to be in a quote unquote normal period in their lives, right? And so visiting the parents after you've been dating a year makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just
A
more of
year is
that, just
actually
trying to
really
do
long.
Yeah.
trying to do the normal things and just to get to know each other better, you know.
And we learned why it took them a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
Yep,
maybe took some
we
time.
sure did.
This actually isn't even a family member. Well, an immediate family member. Jonathan is awful. I
Or
agree, Alex.
oblivious, I
You
guess.
talk. Yeah, you talk up. You tell that guy what's up.
So here's what I think that family scene is doing. Is it showing Alex learning about hierarchy and political acumen, his growing that of that. He would not have understood that situation as well at the beginning of the series.
Mhm.
And I think that's what it's doing, but it also has this really like a few really funny scenes or moments where he's like, "Is the help gone? Like, why are you sending your guests? Who does the dishes when Anne isn't here?" Like, that whole situation, and then when they leave, they're like, "Well, wait, are you going?" And, like, "We've got meetings."
Those meetings are more
Very
important and more fun than this.
Government meetings.
Oh
Ugh.
yeah, and she's more powerful than anyone you've ever met in
Yeah,
Yeah.
politics.
exactly, exactly. And so I enjoyed that scene, but what I really appreciated as far as the story goes is that he's being able to register things that he would not have been able to register at the beginning of the series.
Yeah, sure.
And I think it also goes a little bit to show that Anne's never had a lot of real relationships, like
Yeah,
with her family, with anybody else, and so just her experiences and things after going into the shadow, the bubble realm and such, that things started before that. She was not in a healthy place psychologically before that happened. She's still not. Neither of the Annies are, in fact. Let's
yeah.
say that.
Division continues to prove to not be great. Uh,
So
but then we move into like some of their regular mundane stuff. I think this all happens in like the first 50 pages before the S hits the fan. But they're like waking up and they're doing their exercises, and Anne is kind of showing some control over her whole situation. And then Caldera goes to the council with her evidence, and we get our warrants.
Yep.
So I guess there's not much to talk about during the raid, other than that the dragon scene was really cool. Like
Yeah.
watching the cave expand, and then
And just like
dragons just coming and lifting up Arachne.
and then the swish of his tail restores the roof, and it's just like it was an intense scene.
well,
Yeah.
Athena's amazing, isn't she?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's Athena.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, I agree. It's got to be right. It all
yeah.
tracks.
100%.
But yeah, so that's a cool scene. The council doesn't treat Anne any better than Richard does. She's got a bag over her head. She's chained up. She's like scooting herself across the floor um, to go through a portal. It's really rough. It's really rough to watch.
Yeah.
Um,
Not fun. Not good.
no. And then we get to Crystal, who it's just a really dark topic. I don't know how to approach this. I'm being perfectly honest
I
here.
know it's
I
it's a
gotta
tough thing. They
Yeah.
want Alex to basically break Annie so that Dark Annie can take over, and so Crystal enforces that with some magic, some mind control. Basically, is what it is. Alex is left prisoner.
You're dancing. We're not gonna dance. Crystal gets a special magic imbued item. She controls Alex. Alex is trapped inside his mind, and Crystal makes him beat the crap out of Anne
Hmm.
to break her. And she does it because she's malicious. She's a sadist, and she enjoys the fact that she is breaking Anne with a person that really loves her, and they're both that's how
Well,
we
and
get the whole
making
hand.
Alex
It's
do it.
two
Yeah.
birds with one stone for her because she doesn't like Anne
Right.
or Alex.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
and
just gonna hurt both of these people really bad and get what I want.
and we know Richard chose that over the Hailer and her torturing Alex to get Anne to do it, which probably would have worked too, but it said that Crystal's was more elegant or something like that.
Cleaner and
Yeah.
easier, yeah. I'll say that the first time, I think one of the first times, the first couple, I felt like Anne was just too simple minded in this one. Oh, you're hitting me and you're saying things that are mean to me. But like in my years of knowing you, you've never done anything remotely like this. And all of a sudden you're just allowed to walk into my room. I guess I just was feeling like she was missing the suspicion part of it. right? Like, oh, why are you just allowed to walk into my room all of a
I
sudden?
think it's because it's going right to her fears,
And
kind
that
of
could be
thing.
part of it, but
Yeah,
I
like
think it's also because we are looking at good Annie. And there is a clear division between good Annie and dark Annie. And dark Annie has her survival instincts. And she's got her more intuition based kind of things. Not saying
oh
that
yeah,
good
she
Annie
even
can't
says
use
she
that or
figures it
access
out.
that, but
Uh,
that good Annie is just more believing and more trusting even in weird situations. And so I've
yeah,
kind of made a little bit more peace with it that way, that it's a limitation of good Annie.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
So
would say she's in a very high stress situation already, right? And she's been locked in this
yes, of
room and
course.
all that kind of stuff. And suddenly the person that she loves and who she believes loves her walks in and starts it escalates slowly. Like he doesn't just start with hitting her.
No, yeah, I know.
And so, like, it ramps up slowly, 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 slowly. Plus, you have Crystal there, who's probably doing some weirdness with Anne's mind too. And just imagine that somebody that you love, that has always been good to you, suddenly is accusing you of ruining their life and straight up smacks you across the face. And you're already like imprisoned. Like, I just think it's shock.
Hmm. Yeah,
And I think it's reasonable. Like, I don't feel like it's a good Anne, bad Anne. I think it's a just shock, because who wouldn't be in shock?
Sure.
But it's a very devastating scene.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there is some merit to dividing it a little bit because Darkan does seem to just kind of accept the situation as is later, right? Like she's like, "Oh yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what was going on."
well, she says she figured it out as soon as everyone came in.
Yeah. But we don't know what good Anne's doing at this point. So
Well, she's also had time to process. Both aunts have had time to process.
yeah,
Like, oh my gosh, and that part where Rachel walks in and says, "Man, you really beat that out of her." That was so dark
yeah.
because she seems
Yeah.
almost gleeful. And yeah, so
There's-
crap got real in this book, you guys. It got real, real.
So how do we feel? I don't know if I'm making the right connection here, but how do we feel about the use of Meredith's charm magic to switch Rachel over to make her turn and
I
destroy the? Because that's not a totally like the physical
Ethical?
part aside, that's not totally a different situation. Yeah, like the ethics of that are still pretty shoddy.
ethically, I would say it's not a great thing, of course,
Yeah,
using charm or mind magic on anybody, but he didn't
It could have happened to a
he,
nicer person.
yeah, he just played on her own fears. If she had been a little bit more secure in her own feeling or understood, if Richard had been like, you know what, let's take, I see you have a second mage here, but her own unpredictability, which makes her a great asset, also makes her a great weakness.
yeah,
I mean, he had to do something to get Anne free.
yeah.
And I guess it's better than what Crystal did in mind controlling Rachel to make her do it. She at least got to choose. I choose to cast a disintegrating beam at you.
Right. Yeah, Meredith just put the thought just emphasized the thought that was already there.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
just
pretty
picked
much
up her
said
fears.
as much. She's kind of making it, bringing it, and triggering it at the most useful time.
And in fairness to Rachel, although she's a complete nutcase, um, she's not she's not completely wrong in feeling the way she feels about the whole power situation and the
No, not at
whole
all.
I
Yeah.
mm, I mean,
Yeah, sh-
Richard is kind of the reason why she's nuts, to be honest.
Well,
oh
Because
yeah,
you
right.
could say
the
that's the same
team
reasons the reason the book is go. Richard's the reason the book is going the way it is.
Rachel was an experiment that did not, let's say, turn out well.
An accidental experiment, the
Yeah.
best kind, because she wasn't supposed
Mm.
to bond the thing when she killed Shireen. It just happened. Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
You know, I destroyed a young woman's life and her mind, but it happens.
Omelets and eggs.
Hey,
Richard,
Lennon.
you monster. I
It's a
just
very
Oh,
well mannered
all
monster.
of all of Richard's just like I just get so angry when I listen to Richard talk about like all the free will and choice that he gives everyone when it's not that at all. Like it's so just not that.
But
This
that, he wants them to think that
twisted monster of
because
a
it's
man.
just, yeah.
are you
He's
enjoying
such
Richard then?
Oh yeah, love him.
he's such a great villain. He is so
So
good.
good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Doesn't show up until halfway through, but he is a good villain the whole time.
yep.
So
He's a
some
great looming shadow. That's for sure. And all the times that he's been involved are great. So
And even though he shows up halfway through, you don't actually see that much of him until, like, the last 4 books.
yeah.
Like, he's
yeah,
not prominent until basically the end of the series.
yeah. And then he shows up in like every big event, which is cool. All right, we're by my clock on Audacity, we're at an hour.
Yeah.
But I could keep going. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about?
I wanna
Yeah.
talk about the end a little bit.
I'll
Okay.
just throw one thought out really quick. Sonder also
Okay.
got fat, and there's a subtle dig at him because he's a jerk now as well.
I also, and apparently with that comfort comes a change in morals,
Yeah.
a little bit more flexibility.
Poor Sonder. I mean, I feel like he's a very lamentable character. Um, Even though he does dirty on Alex a few times, I just don't he's not a bad guy. I don't feel the same way as I do feel about Caldera.
No,
Because he's, like,
Yeah.
really honest at the inquiry at the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
not the one you
Sonder.
want to hate.
He's younger than Caldera. Caldera's old enough to know better, and been in things, whereas Sandra was idealistic and just followed those ideals and decided to stick to them.
Yeah.
So I do wanna talk about the end
Yeah, that's
before
fine.
we get into, predictions. I'm assuming we're gonna have Jingles give us all the predictions. Um, so what do we think about the really weird little meet cute in Arachne's hollow between
Mm.
Dark Anne and Alex? Does no one have thoughts besides me?
I mean, I think
Oh,
the
no.
thoughts are still that like she's gonna keep doing what she's doing, and he's gonna work to take her down and stop her. And maybe it'll turn out like those rom-coms where you have one bad and one good, and they fall in love or whatever. But obviously, her attraction and her relationship with Alex is still like is in the passive still there. Like they still like each other. Like she's not like what, I'm a heartless monster. She is kind of, but she's not like, I'm gonna go kill Alex just because. She doesn't really have any beef with him. She's like, yeah, you're mind controlled. I'm not gonna kill you for that. Like, I know you know that's what happened. But she's like, but I'm not gonna give up on my goals for you. I'm not gonna stop killing these people who've mistreated me and abused me and all these others their whole life.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
like
this is
that.
Dark Anne in control. What the other Anne, Light Anne, is locked away, presumably in that chair, probably with a gag on too. I imagine Dark Anne's going to add a little bit of extra to whatever Dark Anne did or Light Anne did to her.
Mhm.
But so
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows how
That's
much she knows is going on. Dark Anne's probably only going to let her know the stuff that's going to hurt her. So
I think like right now, from the way I see it, is that both Alex and Anne right now are set on very similar paths where they
Mhm.
both have just a lot of dirty work that they need to get done right now. And I think for like Alex, like there's not much reason to stop Anne because he's doing the exact same thing. But at the same time, whether he realizes or not, like he has time with the Fate Weaver that's on a limit. um, he acknowledges that the Jinn is also a limit. And
Mhm.
so there is going to come a point where they are going to have to face each other and work this out. But I think what at least makes that a successful endeavor potentially is that Alex and Anne still very clearly have feelings for each other. Like I don't think Dark Anne ever says anything that would make me swayed to believe that she doesn't care for Alex still on some level.
So I found 3 interesting things about this whole scene. And like I said, it does almost act like a meet cute in a rom-com, right? And the first thing is that she invites him to come on her killing rampage.
Yes.
The second thing is that she's like, "Why are you here?" And she's like, "Well," he's like, "I miss you, and Luna would like a call." "Well, she can call me. I'm still the same person. I just have a different perspective." You can almost hear like the
The
not eye
drawl.
roll, that's not yeah, well, yeah. And
The
then,
Valley Girl sleeping in there.
kinda yeah, something like that. It's weird because she's English, but you can almost get that feeling, like that Mean Girl movie feeling.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
And, um, and then she proposes that they start killing the enemies You start on your side, and I start on mine, and we'll meet in the middle, and we'll have a show off. Or maybe a date, or maybe both. And then she puts on the dress, and Alex muses, does Arachne think that which Anne was gonna wear this dress?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he knew, or she knew.
She knew.
yeah. And then she just walks off. So I have a question, Jingles.
Mhm.
Who do you think Arachne was making the dress for? And what do you think it does? This is
Ooh.
predictions, by the way. So.
Dang. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think about it in that. I mean, I think she made it for Dark Anne, but I kind of just thought that's because Arachne had already seen how a lot of this was going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
You've tipped him off.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of wondering.
Oh,
What
are you even talking about?
Could
No.
this
Texas
dress
doesn't know what he's talking about.
could this dress somehow restrain a djinn? Is that possible? Let's go with it. Let's go with a big
Anything's
spread here.
possible with
Yeah.
enough magic.
Yeah.
I'll give you a
I-
prediction for the next 2 books. The books are good, and they
Good.
continue to be great.
They can be.
And then they end after book 12.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
That's your prediction? That's a good prediction. I like it.
They're gonna move
Actually, I
some
hope that
deer into
prediction
the
will be
hollow.
wrong at some point, but
We forgot to talk about the hatching. The hatching of the Hydra Naiad, whatever
Hamadryad.
she
Oh
is.
yeah. God, that was
Yeah,
such
she
a
hatched, and that's great.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
about
yeah.
all we need to say about that. That's what
Yeah.
it takes up. It's important, but it's nowhere near as important as all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Magic dress.
I do like
Magic
Luna's. Just right as that thing's hatching, Luna's like, it feels a little lonely here now. Or it
Mhm.
feels it's starting to feel a little more lonely. But
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would go with that really. I think Arachne understood Dark Anne was gonna be taking over and gave the dress as a way to assist Alex with the change back over to good, or more likely the actual final merge of the two into a
Mhm.
single person. Let's see here. The next book is called Forged. That doesn't lend much.
That's the other problem with these books. Those titles, it's like, oh, they don't really like lend to remembering what happens in them all the time.
No, not always. I feel like Forged. Oh, that could mean. Okay, this has nothing to do with the title. I'll just go with this. So we're looking at who are our big bads left. We have Levistus, we have Morden, Vihala, and Richard. And then
And potentially Dark Anne.
and potentially Dark Anne. And for Dark Anne, we actually do have Jagadev and Sagesh as well. So let's see here. I think in the next book, Anne will be dealing with those two, while Alex is simultaneously dealing with the Levistus problem, because I think Levistus needs to be out of the way so that we can do, in the last book, we can do Richard and his cabal as the like big finale.
Okay.
So yeah, so there's where I am. So in the next book, Alex is going to use the Fate Weaver to take out Levistus, finally. And he's also going to perhaps help with Jagadev and Sagash. Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
I approve.
Yep.
Of your
And
prediction.
I don't think...
I'm not confirming. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm maybe this is, I think in the last episode I said I was expecting Very to die. I'm starting to think maybe he won't. Just because right now it seems like he's being forced away from the group and he can't really do much. But his loyalty is a problem. His loyalty is going to be a problem for him probably in the long run. So maybe that's wrong. But
I think we're going to have to cut it there to make sure we
Yeah.
don't spoil anything. So
It's very hard.
Hey.
Guys, I've had such a hard time rereading this series because for this recording, because like every time I finish the book, I immediately start the next book, and then all the books are confused in my head. I don't know which one ends and which one. And I was a good girl. I did not read Forged. Well, I read it a
Again.
couple of months ago, but then I did not start Forged, even though I wanted
Again.
to start it right after I finished reading Fallen. I was like, I can't, because I will screw things up and I will all the spoilers in my head, and I just want to give them to you, Jingles, but you will not like them. I mean, you would like spoilers, and you know what I mean.
you'll like
Oh,
the
yeah.
books. You don't
I will
want to
like
get
the books.
spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to.
Maybe we should up our tempo a little bit.
If only. I am gonna
Mhm.
try, but I still have like 3 other books I need to read for Green Tea.
You can
before
drop those
this
other
one's over.
ones. They're not important.
So, this has been the Green Team of the Legendarium's discussion of Fallen by Benedict Jacka. Please join us on the Legendarium Discord server to continue the discussion. Thanks go to Craig and the Legendarium and Horizon Brave for starting the Green Team. Intro and outro music is Galactic Damages by Jingle Punks. And for Chesky, Texas Blade, and the Lord Book, I'm Jingles. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Good night.
Have a good one.